All right, so I want to welcome you guys to tonight's session. And tonight we are going to talk about master data and how to manage master data as a data governance specialist. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, clearly, sir.
All right, very good. All right, trying to understand what is master data and master data management. I identify types of master data, understand master data architectures, recognize governance control within master data, and explain the relationship between master data management and compliance. So we're starting with understanding what master data is all about. What is master data? So master data refers to the core high value entity that are shared across an organization. Every organization have what they call master data. We need to understand their core high value entity called master data. Master data can be customer data. That is what they value, like core entity, call it core entity, core data. We have employee data. Every company, like I said, every organization, they have clients. Your client is your customer. Every organization have employees. They have employees. Every organization have product or services. They have who supply their services or supply their products. Every organization have got location where they are operating from and various accounts, whether customer accounts, employee accounts, vendor accounts, supplier accounts. These are why we call it's an entity. It's high value. If any of this example here is missing in any organization, you find out that that organization is not complete. Is there any organization that doesn't have a place of operation? Even somebody like me now, I'm operating from my home at this point. That's the location. Even in our course portal, I, who is the admin of that portal, I've got my own account. The instructors have their own accounts. Here is the instructor, the supplier. They are the suppliers of knowledge here. They are the instructors. You here, students, are the customer. We have other employees. So this is what we call master data. So master data is different from transactional data sets. Master data here is customer profile. Transactional data is purchase record. Master data, product detail. Transactional data, sales transaction. Master data, suppliers info. Transactional data, invoice. So if there is no master data, there is no transactional data. It's the master data's activity that produces transactional data. So it's the core entity in that organization. If there is no master data, or no organization can move forward. As a matter of fact, if you don't have master data, you are not complete. Even any of those this master data we stated here is missing, you find out that your organization is not complete. If you go to register a company now, they want to know the nature of business you are doing. Nature of business means whom are you serving and whom are you going to use to serve those people? What kind of services are you offering? Where are you located? Where is their website? Where do you have a web? So all these things you see surrounding around master data is a very valuable data entity. As let's call it assets. Let's just call it valuable asset of the organization. If anything happened to the master data, the organization will suffer loss, depending on, but it's extremely important we understand it and how do we manage it to avoid any kind of risk, vulnerability around master data. That is what you are here to understand, to safeguard master data against any form of vulnerability. So, and that is what is bringing us to master data management. Master data management is a governance-driven approach that ensures an organization maintains a single, accurate, consistent version of its critical master data across all systems. If we have a clean master data, how is it going to look? When we have good, we can only achieve that if we have good master data management. We talk about quality, data quality. Data quality cannot be effective if we don't have a good master data management. First, we need to understand that these are the core assets of this organization. Yeah. In a church, we the church goers, we are the customers. Any day you go to the church and the pastor or the reverend father is there and nobody comes to church, whom are they going to talk to? The church will not hold. If I have come here today or tonight and none of you turned up, who am I going to teach myself? So this is why it's important, because that is what keeps us in business. If any of you is here, none of you happen to be here, then I'm out of business. So you see, if anything happened to the data, maybe you must log in before you join this class, and all your record is being wiped out to try to log in. Somebody just send them, for instance, somebody sent a virus into my system and they wipe all the record. When you want to log in, you can't log in because your data is no longer in a database. it becomes a big problem for us. So when we have good master data management, it eliminate duplicates, duplicate record. Duplicate, we talk about data duplicates is one of the one attribute of poor data. Inconsistencies. These are when we're talking about poor data, duplicate, inconsistencies, missing values, conflicting data version, data being in silos. Yeah, silos. Master data, make sure that no data is in silo. There's a lot of important data, but they're in silos. It can be, it's underutilized. What is data being in silo? When a data cannot be accessed centrally, like customer data being only domiciled within the marketing unit or sales unit. The account cannot access it, human resources cannot access it. This is what we call silo, data being in silo. So while we are enforcing master data management is to make sure we don't have this kind of situations. So why it matters? Master data management. Without master data management, customer data differs across departments, which I've just mentioned. What we have in this department might be different from what they have in the other department, and this and that, and it's not going to work. For instance, if we have, let's use NHS. NHS is UK Hospital, UK General Hospital, NHS. A client have an issue, the patient have to go for a checkup, and then the patient is referred for some kind of special diagnosis or different labs to take urinary. There's different departments where you take your urine sample, blood sample, scan, different departments. So if it means that each department you go, they record you, they collect your some data, you go the other department, so how are they going to, if they want to work on your case, it's going to be extremely difficult. Because if I go to physio department, they collect, for instance, my name is Charles Ugu K. Some departments will gather Charles Ugu, some department will gather Charles Ugu K, some department will gather Ugu K. You find out it's same me, but if you go to different departments, it's different. They gather different version of my identity. Some might say, yes, bring the ID card, you can bring national ID card. Some can say, yes, driver's license. Some can say international passport. It's the same organization, but every department is going to make work very difficult. And we have to make sure we don't want that. We don't want different data in different departments. We want a unified data. So that once I have one department collect my system, my data set is going to be transmitted across all the departments. If anybody update my record here, it's going to be updated across departments. That is what that master data. We determine the kind of data and how our data is being updated. So it's all about data sharing. You can call it data communication and data sharing. And these are one of the reasons why IT is always, more especially some business analysts, you find out that they're always working on one integration or the other integration, integrating two systems together to share information. Instead of copying information from one department to another department, it's better to share it. Do you know the difference between copying and sharing? Copying and sharing. Can anybody tell me the difference between copying data and sharing data? Okay. I'll tell you the difference. Okay, want to try?
Sharing data. Sharing data.
You have
Data is as to everyone in a region.
You're having network issues. Okay, let me see. When you copy a data, that data you copy is now on
Hello, can you hear?
I can't, you are breaking, so let me continue. So when you copy a data, you can copy data from one system to another system. If you copy a data from one system to another system, it becomes a different data set. I can copy and start updating and add other things on that data. It's no longer the original version. It's a copied. It's a photocopy. It's not the original version. When updates the copied version, it's not going to reflect on the original data. But when you share a data, you are sharing the original copy. Any update made on that original copy reflects to every person that is having a shared of that particular data. For instance, if I want to give you access to my Google Drive, I add you on the system. So you have access to that data, that is sharing. If you make updates on the data I have on my Google Drive, if I share it with you, it's going to reflect. If I'm making updates, it's reflecting on your side. If I copy the data to you, now is your system. If I'm making updates on that, my original data is not going to reflect on your original, on your own data, because your own is a copy. So that is it. So why data, master data? Master data is promoting sharing. It's not promoting copying. Without master data management, marketing email reaches wrong recipients. Compliance report becomes inaccurate. AI system uses conflicting data sets. But when we have master data management, one trust source of truth, a data because all the data sets we have in finance is the same thing we are seeing in marketing, is the same thing. Any little change, any little update reflects across everybody that is having a share of that particular data set. So master data improves reporting accuracy, strong regulation compliance, and better customer experience. We have different types of master data architecture model. That is different types of model. We have a centralized model, a system where we have a central master data hub. that stores the core master record. These are the most sought after by different organizations. You just store it one place and everybody will have access. All systems connect to that hub. High control and high consistency. Yeah. We have registry model, no central storage. Yeah. System link, you just link record across system. Lightweight and less disruptive. Then we have coexistence model, where master data synchronize between hub and source system. Synchronization, keep on, it takes time, is not the idle way. The best is centralized system. We have federal model of master data. In federal model, we have a kind of framework with distributed data, meaning that you are going to use this framework to manage your data. The data set is distributed. For instance, let's use federal government. The kind of data you gather within the federal level and data you gather within the state level, you have a framework. Everybody is working with the framework, but it's not like it's centralized. States have their data set, different from federal governments, but all of us use the same guideline. Maybe we say anytime you want, the rule or the constitution is, once you want to make register for, let's say, INEC between the states, each state you must collect ID card, you must collect passport, you must collect date of birth, you must collect email. That is the standard. Then everybody go to your different states and do the registration. Everybody will be registered. So all those data should be in their own respective areas, but we use the same standard to capture. So it's the same framework with distributed different areas. That is federal model. But the best way is having a unified model. For instance, if INEC is using a centralized model, anywhere you are registering for INEC is going directly to the central database. For instance, if I'm in Enugu and I register for INEC voters card, automatically is going to the federal portal or the unified portal. If I'm in Lagos, everything is going onto the same, so it's become unified. Everybody have access to all, everybody is connected to that central hub. Not that everybody will have their own individual, but using the same format to capture the data. So that is different types of master data management. It depends on the level of innovation and the amount of money. That is in capital investment, determine the one you are going to have. To have a centralized master data is very costly. It's very expensive. Yeah, but that is the best. And almost everybody is adopting it. So that is the best form of master data architectural management we have for now. So, okay, let's look at core components of a master data management program. Data matching and duplication. Identifying duplicate record and applying matching algorithm. So in this situation, we want a master data management program that can automatically detect duplicates. When we have duplicated within this, the master data is going to flag it off. Data standardization, uniformity, uniform naming convention, common format, just like I said in federal system. So you must have a unified convention. If you come to UK, you see this three system of UK name. All of them are highly acceptable. You see some organization, they want to talk about UK, they use the name UK. Some organization will say United Kingdom. Some organization will say Great Britain. They are all right. They are all correct. So it's left for you to determine which one are we adopting. Not that if you are capturing data, some people will be capturing UK, some people will capturing United Kingdom, some people will capturing, like now a marketer goes out there for survey for people to fill a form, a data collection. You have to determine the name convention that you are going to use. Is he going to? In master data, is that is the way it's supposed to be. If you are capturing date, all of us know that date there's different way to capture date. You can say, if you want to capture today's date, you can say 11/3/2026. Some people will say 11th March 2026. Both of them are correct. But there's no need of using both of them. It's going to, once we have them in our database, it's going to conflict. For instance, now you have UK in our database and we'll have Great Britain in our database. The same, yes, both data is right, but it's going to conflict. That's why we start having conflict. You have to determine, that is standardization. You need to standardize which name format, that is name convention and common format. Golden record creation. Golden record creation is the single authoritative version of master data after reconciliation. That is, this is the golden standard. Gold standard. This is how it's supposed to be. Once it's not up to that gold standard, we are not taking it. It's not up to the standard. You must have a benchmark. That is what you must have, a benchmark as an authoritative version of this is what looks good. This is what looks good. Governance and stewardship. Data owners approves master data rule. Who is the owner? That's why we always assign ownership. Ownership approves, this is the standard. When we're talking about golden standard, the owner, the data owner approves the standard. Then data steward resolve complete. If anybody goes against that golden standard, data steward will say no. So you are the custodian of that data set. You make everybody must abide by the golden rule. And we'll have policies to enforce that golden rule. So you, the data steward, use policies to enforce consistency, making sure that golden rule is, all that golden standard is what everybody is working with. Nobody, anything below the gold standard is no. Then technology enablement. You must decide softwares. What are the softwares? When you're deciding softwares, what are the softwares used? Looking at the companies, the type of data we are using. So you cannot just say we use this software because it's the costliest or because it's the top. You need to do analysis to know the kind of data you are using. The kind of data set you use will determine the kind of softwares you use for data management. For instance, in healthcare, there are special softwares for data management. In bank, you can use hospital softwares, enterprise application to manage. These are two different data sets that are going to be there. You cannot use retail, so you must determine, you are going to determine based on the budgets, availability, and the industrial standard. Then you are going to determine how robust the software you are going to use because of integrations. What makes a software very good is the ability to integrate with another software and share data. You have to understand. I will give you an example. In CRM system, we have so many softwares for CRM. What do we mean CRM? CRM, customer relationship management. So it means it's the software we use to manage customer data. CRM. Okay, this CRM system, if you want to use CRM system, we have different vendors in the market that owns this CRM system. We have Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the biggest. Then we have Salesforce. We have Soho. We have so many HubSpots. We have so many of them. Some are cheap. Some are expensive. So, your company, you have to look. If you want to buy the expensive one, can they afford it? So you must reconcile a lot of things. Your company size, availability of funds, and the ability to be integrated, scalable. I mean, when the company is growing, scalability, can they contain the growth? So these are some of the things that need to be put into consideration. So in this category, in this kind of environment, you need the service of a business analyst to work with you, to help you if you are within, but it's you that will determine the kind of model that will be used. So you need to understand the model that will be used. Why companies go after Microsoft? Where a lot of companies see them, they are using Microsoft. Microsoft have built all their system that if you are using a Microsoft enterprise application, it's going to be very easy for you to integrate Microsoft with another third-party application. It's very easy because Microsoft, they build it with a lot of connectors. If you want to do integration, they already have a port for you to do the integration. But so many CRM system, if you want to integrate it with another system, you have to start looking for developers that will do a custom integration, something like that. So that's why Microsoft is better most of the time. In Microsoft, it's just like this door. If you want to change the door, Microsoft doors fit in any kind of door. Any standard door you go, any house you go, you find a Microsoft, they must meet, they can fit it there. But some doors, if you want to use them, you have to start breaking the house. So there's a lot of things you need to put into consideration while trying to understand the softwares. And again, special softwares for master data management. We're going to talk about them very soon. So that is it. So that is for technology enablement and master data management and regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance. What are the regulatory measures in master data and how to make sure that we comply? Master data error can lead in so many of these. If we have errors, failure to comply, failure to comply will lead to incorrect financial statements, AML. AML means anti-money laundering, yeah, and the KYC means know your customer. These two areas is very core in financial industry. If any failure for these two, anti-money laundering, and know your customer, it can land you into serious soup, just like it landed Monzo and other bank. Privacy violation. You must understand privacy policy, how to manage privacy policy and disclosure. Any violation of privacy policy and disclosure is a serious breach. Sanction breaches. So that means if you fail to comply, so why you have to apply master data management is going to eliminate these regulatory problems, regulatory and compliance problems. So when you have a strong master data management support, is going to help you to increase the accuracy of regulatory reporting, audit readiness, customer identity verification, data subject rights management. When you have strong master data management support. Master data management and risk management. What are the risks of handling your master data without a proper master data management? Fraud due to duplicate identities. You are creating rooms. If you're not applying master data management, you are creating room for vulnerability of your master data, and it's going to lead to fraud due to duplication, operational inefficiency, poor customer experience, inconsistent AI modeling training. But once you have a good master data management in place, it's going to reduce identity risk, reporting error, and compliance penalties. Real-world case study. A multinational bank operates in 5 countries. What is their problem? The same customer appears differently in multi-system. KYC check incomplete, conflicting risk profile, impact, regulatory penalties, anti-money laundering compliance risk, inaccurate reporting. So, company like Revolut operates in different countries. That is the future of banking. The future of banking is a bank can operate in different countries at the same time. You can use bank solution to operate in different countries. You know that most banks are locally, but the future bank is multi-wallets. And that is why Revolut is growing faster than all these old generation bank, because they are multi-wallets. So every other company, all these digital banks, why are they growing? They are multi-wallets. You find out that Revolut have branches almost in all the European countries, in UK and all the European countries. You can use their Revolut anywhere in Europe. But you cannot operate your bank easily, your Zenith Bank. Once you're out of Nigeria, forget it. Forget it with Zenith. If you're out of Nigeria, you cannot use your GTB bank card. So some of these cards, like Barclays Bank, you'll be able to use their card because they are working with third-party companies like MasterCard, Visa, and the rest of them. But what Revolut is doing that, they're doing it in such a way that you don't need to work with MasterCard. You don't need to work with Visa card. They have multi-wallets. So you can change from your Euro wallet. You can transfer money from your Euro wallet. If you are in Europe or you are in America, you can transfer money in the same Revolut. Transfer money from your Euro account to dollar account, and you start using it in US. Once you are in the UK, you can transfer dollars from your dollar wallet to UK wallet, and you start using it in UK. And yeah, so this is what I mean by a multinational bank operating in 15 countries. Yeah, this is the way it's happened these days. So that operation, you don't need to build different application. For instance, if Zenith Bank want to operate in London now with their current structure, they need to build a different application than the one they are using in Nigeria. Yeah. So, but this is what master data can say, like a bank like that can adopt a measure where this is the way to make sure we have a uniformity of data. A customer does not need to have a brand, I'm operating in Zenith. I have a account in Zenith Bank Nigeria, and I have account in Zenith Bank London, and I'm using different names. So master data, if you apply master data here, is going to implement a centralized master data hub. establish golden record for customers, assign regional data steward, introduce duplication algorithm. So this is the solution. And uniformity of data. You have to design a system that accepts this. And result, unified customer view, improve compliance, reduce fraud risk. So we have templates we can use for your master data management. So activity here is design a master data management approach for a hospital patient's record, a retail chain product and supply data, a fintech company. And while designing, you have to define master data entity, define golden rule logic, define governance rule, and define risk consideration. So we start with hospital. Under hospital, master data entity, here we have patient. Under patient, this is unique patient identity across all departments. Doctor. Under doctor record, we want medical staff information. Medical faculty. Under medical faculty data, we want departments, we want ward, and we want clinics. Insurance provider. Under insurance, we have insurance coverage detail. Treatment record. Under treatment record, we have patient treatments and procedures. So you have designed the master data entity for this hospital. Then golden rule logic. Under golden rule logic, the matching rule example, national ID, we have full name plus date of birth. That's the kind of data you want to see here. We have phone numbers, addresses. So it's a golden rule that every data must be in this. This is the standard. You see here, you see national ID. They did not, if the country have any ID called national ID, then it means it's going to be that national ID. Every country these days have, most countries these days have an ID called national ID card. It's not national ID, is not passports. It's not international passports. National ID is not driver's license. But in a situation where you don't have national ID, all these others, companies can make it, organization can say, okay, if you don't have national ID, you can bring this one as well, is acceptable. But in as much as it must contain full name, date of birth, and there's things like that. So these are matching patients index, like what must be contained there. That is golden rule logic here. So if duplicates are detected, the logic here is that if duplicates are detected, match record automatically if confidence is 95% and above. But if is below 95%, then it has to be flagged off. golden rule example, patient name registration system. So this is source of, meaning that you cannot write patient's name through a book, or you can't copy it through a book. It must be through registration system. They have a registration system. Every record, every patient, even if they come to you, you redirect them to the registration system. Like now, instead of me telling you to fill a form, and from your form, I start onboarding you, I've given you my own golden rule. I say, go to the course portal, register via the course portal, and do your enrollment. I don't go do manual registration. I don't register you. So you will not say, Mr. Charles registered me and gave me password, and gave me a complex password. That's why I forget it. I didn't give you a password. I did not use I didn't create email for you. You created your email, you registered, and you enroll. So any day you are looking for password, don't call me, because I don't have your password. I don't even know your password. Or you said, somebody hacked my account and deleted all my record in UniF. All the courses I've enrolled, I can't find them. I can't even find my certificate. Yeah, because I had an issue with Mr. Charles in the class. I don't know your password. So that is, I'm giving you an example of golden rule. In this case, you see patient name is registering it via registration system. Medical history is via clinical system. Insurance detail is via billing system. Contact information is via patient's portal. Governance rule: who is in charge? Who owns this data? We have Chief Medical Information Officer. And responsibility is the master data management oversight. And then we'll have data steward clinical. His responsibility is the patient data quality. Make sure there's quality. And then we'll have health information manager. His responsibility is record integrity. We have IT team. Responsibility is master data management system maintenance. We have compliance officer and in charge of privacy compliance. And then we have risk consideration. Risk consideration here are duplicate patient's record leading to wrong treatment, unauthorized access to the health data, inconsistent patient identity across system, privacy violation under healthcare regulation. So you've stated risk associated with poor master data management. So that is it. With this, you have created a master data management compliance framework for your organization. So this is what they are going to use. So you've got this one sorted. So it's a very strong framework for you. Yeah, you can see it's industry-based master data management framework. So this framework is gold standard. As long as it's within the health care, this can serve. It can be customized, but this matches the best standard within healthcare. So let's go to next framework, master data framework in retail chain. Data, what is their master data here? Master data entity. They have product, they have supplier, they have store, they have pricing, they have category. That is their master data here. So under products, description of what a product looks like is a product catalog information. Must have all the product catalog information. Supplier company detail, the whole company detail. Store, under store, retail store location. Pricing, product pricing rule, category, product classification. Golden logic, example, data source, ERP system, supplier portal, inventory management system, and e-commerce. So these are 4 areas where data can come from. Data can come from ERP system, data can come from supplier portal, data can come from inventory system and e-commerce portal. So golden rule here, we see customer name should come from product management system. Stock keeping unit should come from ERP system. Product description should come from e-commerce platform. Supplier detail must come from supplier portals. Duplicates, product record identified using stock keeping units number, that's use it to track, product barcode, and supplier ID. So if we want to talk about duplicates, this is what we are going to use to identify if we have duplicated record. And governance role, we have chief data officer for master data management governance, kind of the data owner. Product data management, responsibility of product data accuracy. Procurement manager, responsibility for supplier master data. IT team, in charge of maintaining and managing master data platform. And data steward, data quality monitoring. And risk control and consideration, we have duplicate SKUs causing inventory errors, incorrect pricing data, supplier data inconsistency, and poor product categorization affecting analytics. Yeah, with that, we've sorted the retail master data management framework. And we'll come to fintech master data management framework. We look at the master data entity, we say customer, we say account, we say transaction, we say KYC, know your customer document, we say device ID. So under customer, we have verified customer identity. We have under account, we have bank or fintech account. Under transaction, we say customer transaction record. KYC is identify verification documents. That's know your customer. You have to provide a series of documents that will match them together. Once such documents are matched together, you know that you have identified a kind of identity authentication of that particular customer. And device ID, that is customer login device. All of you know that in banks now, some banks authorize one device. During the registration, you put, if you are going to use your phone, some bank, what they do now, you put your device number, there's where they put it, and if you are trying to log in from any other device, it's not gonna work. So you must register your device. For instance, now if you are using, example, you are using a Zenith Bank, if you are using a Samsung and you downloaded Zenith Bank app under that Samsung, if you have an iPhone and downloaded that Zenith Bank, before you can log into that iPhone, you must register that device as well. In some cases, once you register it, then you lose the access of the other phone. Happens like that. So you must register any device you can use to log into that particular phone number. So each company, they will determine the kind of the device ID they want and how many devices you can log in at a time, or how many devices you can use to. Some will say you can use mobile device and you can equally use laptop or desktop to access your account. It has to be defined. Some of these new generation banks, you cannot use, all of them are app-based, meaning some of them you cannot use your laptop. For instance, Monzo, you might not be able to use your laptop to access your Monzo account. It's only that mobile device. Golden rule, logic. So matching criteria example, we say these are the kind of criteria we need here. Government ID in terms of KYC verification, we need government ID card. So you need to provide the ID card number. So if it's driver's license, you need to put the driver license number. If it's an international passport, you need to put that international passport number. You need to put your phone number. You need to put your email. You need to put device, fingerprint, biometric verification. This can be a list of all the things someone needs to pass through before you say that the person is KYC verified. If the person do not do all this, even biometric fingerprints, you see some these days you do biometric, you will equally capture your face. You do a short selfie where they capture your face. All the things I've been doing these days, that is the way of verification. Is no longer just scan your document. Those days, all you just need to do is scan your document and send it to them. And for these days, within 5 minutes, you have done your full, you have soon verification. But it's more powerful. Those days, verification can take up to 1 month. They are still doing verification before you can access your account. They tell you they're still doing verification. But these days, all you need is they'll capture your face, capture your fingerprints, and before you know it, verification is done. They synchronize your data, and yeah, and they have link. They are sharing data with so many of these government infrastructures. From there, any ID number you put, they can pull it from there and reconcile it with whatever you give them. If it matches, then they give you access to start using your bank app. So golden rule priority, number one is name, KYC verification, address, government ID, phone number, customer registration, account status, core banking system. So this is where all these priorities are sourced. That means before they can take your name, you must submit all these government IDs. Give you access into the bank system. You must equally submit government ID that carries your address. And your phone number has to be collected during the registration. And your bank account status can only be seen via core banking system. Duplicate detector to duplicate, they have identity matching applications these days. Algorithm. This identity softwares is very powerful. It's one of something that is trending these days, a very good business. Anyone who can develop that kind of platform, you have to deal with a lot of big organizations, banks, government. It's a very big business opportunities these days. Then device fingerprinting is a detection, fraud detection system. So these are where we can, all the duplicate, if you have any kind of duplicate, this is where we can identify such duplicate and flag them off. And governance role, we have chief risk officer. The chief risk officer is in charge of identity governance. And we have compliance officer. Compliance officer is in charge of KYC and anti-money laundering compliance. Data steward. Data steward is in charge of customer data integrity. Then we'll have fraud detection team. They are in charge of identity verification monitoring. And then we'll have IT security. Their IT security, they are in charge of data protection control. And risk consideration. Risk consideration here, if we have weak, in a situation of weak master data management, we are going to be having identity fraud. We are going to be having duplicate customer identity. We are going to be having regulatory non-compliance. We are going to be having financial crime risk. We are going to be having data breach exposure. All this is vulnerability out of poor master data management. So that's why we must have a strong master data management framework for compliance. Okay. Across industry, cross-industry master data management architecture, a typical architecture integrates multi-system in a central master data hub. Core components, Every master data as a best practice must have data integration layer. I told you that's why Microsoft is unbeatable. They take their time to design their systems. And once you get their system, you are going to be happy using their system. So Microsoft is not because of the name is sweet or because its own it was started or founded by Bill Gates. No, it's because they have superior products, data integration. They are number one. And we have every master data management architecture must have master data hub for centralizing data. They must have data quality engine. They must have matching and duplication engine that will flagging it off. They must have governance workflow. They must have API integration layer. And that's it. So that's one thing across industry. No matter the system, this is at least basics, standard. They must, any other thing on top of this layer is good. But core component, every industry must have, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in education, whether in finance, retail, anywhere, and is master data, you must have this basic component within your infrastructure. Key takeaway from tonight's class: master data management ensures a single trusted version of critical data. Golden record reduce duplication and inconsistency. Governance rule ensures accountability for master data, meaning that only one person is not managing the whole master data. We have a team of people assigned. This is what we are doing. You own it. You are doing your instructions in charge of security. You are in charge making sure that all the system is working. So we have a team of governance role. Everybody knows what they are doing. So we have accountability. If anything goes wrong, we know whom to hold accountable. Master data management is essential for analytics, AI, compliance, and operational efficiency. Without master data management, data silo undermine the trust because most data will be in small units scattered everywhere. But good master data management synchronize, unified, and centralize the master data for the organization, and that is the best practice. So that is the end of my story about that master data management. With this, I'm sure that anywhere you find yourself, you can authoritatively educate them about master data and master data management. If you've got any question for me, you can bring it on. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And hopefully